Coming up tonight on YCN News, Claremont City Councilors set a $15.8 million spending plan for fiscal year 2015. Vermont State Police released the name of a 10-year-old boy who shot himself last Saturday. And we'll hear from Lambert Auto Sales in Claremont to talk about the business's energy savings. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Claremont City Councilors set a $15.8 million spending plan for fiscal year 2015 Tuesday night, yet the vote was not unanimous. How the city should spend its money for the fiscal year, which begins July 1st and runs through June 30th, 2015, was not one on which all councilors could agree, the Valley News reports. The total dollar amount allotted for all departments within the city, except for the schools, is the same as the current budget. City Manager Guy Santigate and Finance Director Mary Walter met with the council during its public budget meetings held since the beginning of May. Some departments, such as Planning and Economic Development and Parks and Recreation, received more money than requested due to councilors determining more money was needed to advance the city's quality of life. For example, $17,000 more for the city's planning department will allow part-time clerical and code enforcement help. Also, $8,000 was added for part-time help in the legal department. Earlier, Ward 2 Councilor Charlene Lovett asked Planning Director Nancy Merrill if the department had enough money to accomplish its goals. Lovett's question spurred discussion at the first budget meeting, resulting in the additional money. Last night, however, during the final vote on the budget, Lovett did not support the proposed level funding spending plan. Instead, she joined Councilors Carolyn Toll of Ward 1 and Assistant Mayor Victor Bergeron in voting against the $15.8 sum. Voting yes and securing enough votes to approve the budget were Ward 3 Councilor Nick Koloski, Mayor James Nielsen, and at-large councilors James Reed and Kyle Messier. John Simons abstained from voting and Keith Raymond was absent. Both men are at-large councilors. A mid-June meeting of the Cornish School Board could again be fractious, depending upon the outcome of a policy review. At issue, should school volunteers be allowed to bring young children, especially infants, into the school while working with students? The school board says no, upon the recommendation of SAU 6 Superintendent Dr. Middleton McGoodwin. McGoodwin made his decision on the advice of the board's attorney, citing insurance liability concerns. The infant being brought into the school is being cared for by a babysitter who also volunteers with Cornish Elementary School students as the older students assemble a yearbook. The infant has been held by CES students while the babysitter works on the yearbook. At one point, McGoodwin told YCN News in an email the baby's soiled diaper was changed on a table used by students for academic lessons. The town remains divided over the policy and the board's direction. In Vermont news, state police released the name of the 10-year-old boy who shot himself in the abdomen and died last Saturday. Logan Cookson of Cabot, Vermont, was hunting with family when he fired a .22 caliber revolver at his body below the chest. A 911 call was made shortly before 5 p.m. First responders rushed to the scene. Logan was brought to Central Vermont Hospital. Detective Sergeant Mark Potter reports a review of the case will be done by officials with the Washington County State Attorney's Office in Barre, Vermont. Also in Vermont news, today Governor Peter Shumlin signed into law a bill that would bring universal pre-kindergarten to the state's 3- and 4-year-olds. Shumlin signed the bill into law today in Rutland. The bill aims to provide every youngster with 10 hours a week of publicly funded early childhood education, the Brattleboro Reformer reports. The cost of the program could be about $10 million by the year 2021. This week, YCN begins a series of cuteness featuring local adoptable pets. Let's take a look at this first edition of Pet of the Week to meet some cats in need of their forever homes.
Welcome to YCN's Pet of the Week, brought to you by Achille Agway in Walpole, New Hampshire, and P&G Pet Foods. Buddha came to the shelter as a give-up because he was fighting with other cats in the household. He is now neutered and cared for, and we have not found him aggressive. He loves to play and loves people. He is in our community room and has been joined by his littermate, Angel. They are both orange tiger cats and approximately 2 years old. We thought Buddha was small for his age, but Angel is very petite and sweet. Angel is not as outgoing as Big Brother, but likes to be held. They certainly would make a nice duo, but can go separately to a good home. Rusty is a very handsome orange cat with white bib and feet. He is about 3 years old and was brought to the shelter after being found by a man that knew he was a nice cat. From what we can tell, Rusty needs to be an only cat. The man that brought him in stops in periodically to check on Rusty and keeps hoping we find him the right home. Call River Valley Animal Protection League at 603-826-3061.
If you're looking for a new furry family member and friend, stay tuned for our Pet of the Week segments. Next week's batch of cuddly pets is sure to be just as cute and just as ready for a loving home. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Earlier this month, the New Hampshire Automobile Dealers Associations and New Hampshire Sierra Club sent out a press release about some local businesses that are reducing energy usage and costs. Some of the highest electricity rates in America are found in New Hampshire, the press release noted, which often can lead to businesses shutting down. In Bow, New Hampshire, the NHADA headquarters changed the way they use energy by lessening the cost on the environment and the bills. They saved almost $10,000, and once other businesses followed in their green footsteps, the savings were well over $100,000 statewide, the press release states. Since auto dealers tend to face large electricity bills, many dealerships joined in and made changes to their businesses to reduce energy use. One local dealer, Lambert Auto Sales in Claremont, participated. YCN spoke with the owner, John Lambert, to learn about their energy conservation. Let's hear from him now.
Well, in 2008, we reduced our electricity usage with lighting upgrades, and we did that with a grant from PSNH. They did an audit. They went through our building and found lighting that could be changed to adapt to more energy efficiency. And we also reduced our heating costs by adding a waste oil furnace in our garage, so we were burning some of our waste product that we drain out from our vehicles. We added some insulation, painting ceilings white, and just some basic motion sensor switches. We recycle cardboard, metal, packing material. Because of our large parts business, we send over 40 parcels out every day, UPS, and we use recycled boxes for that.
Lambert Auto set the example for many, proving that energy efficiency is attainable. Whether at home or at your business, reducing energy use is a great way to benefit the environment and cut down on bills. For tips on how you can reduce your energy use this summer at home, check out www.nh.gov and search for the Office of Energy and Planning. Take a walk through downtown Claremont and you'll see the results of beautification by volunteers. On Tuesday afternoon, Heather Parker of Heather's Helping Hands lent her time and sweat equity to help plant flowers around 7 tree rings around Pleasant Street and Opera Square. Parker's son, Travis Stanley of Florida, and girlfriend, Cheyenne Lawless, prepared the soil for the flowers. Look for warmer weather in July to see the plants bloom into glory, says Claremont Spice and Dry Goods owner David Lucier. Lucier also is a volunteer co-chairman of the city's 250th anniversary celebration. He prefers to be off camera, yet his interest in the city is clear. Yesterday, he took time to show the creativity behind celebration events. These include 30-year-old parking meters resurrected from a basement that will be auctioned off to raise money for the 250th programs. As Lucier says, these parking meters are the real deal. No fiberglass here. In all, there are at least 200 meters, still with the nickel, dime, and quarter slots. No digital swipe cards here. Each is expected to sell between $25 and $40 as a fundraising project. There will be a small charge for the vertical base that will be attached to the meter so that it can stand upright. Indeed, in someone's home or office, it's a conversation piece. The meters will be decorated by the purchaser, as you can see here. There are no city tax dollars being spent on the 250th anniversary celebrations. Financial donations and in-kind gifts of time, materials, and labor are approaching close to $100,000, Lucier says. Area businesses participating with the latter gifts include Structural Can-Am, Peabody Electric, Pine Hill Excavation, Claremont Savings Bank, National Field Reps, and more. To learn more about the 250th celebrations, go online to www.claremont250.org. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we're expecting mostly cloudy skies with a low of 41 degrees and calm winds around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll have some fog before 9 a.m., but this will clear up to bring sunny skies and a high of 71 degrees. Winds will remain around 5 miles per hour into the evening, but we've got a 30% chance of showers Thursday night after 2 a.m. and lows in the upper 40s. Friday we have a 60% chance of showers before noon with possible thunderstorms between noon and 2 p.m. Highs will be in the upper 60s with cloudy skies. Friday night skies will be cloudy with a low of 49 degrees and a 30% chance of rain. Looking at our northeastern radar map, we can see a few storms approaching. We are predicting that rainfall will reach Vermont and New Hampshire Thursday morning. On the national radar map, you can see more clearly that Thursday's storm is over Michigan. Once the storm passes over New England, we should have a partly sunny weekend ahead of us. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow, the Walpole, New Hampshire Select Board will meet at 6 p.m. On Friday, the Bellows Falls Farmers Market in Vermont will begin at 4 p.m. Friday night, the Lebanon Opera House in New Hampshire is hosting recycled percussion at 7:30 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Today in sports, we have viewer videos showing 2 high school games yesterday. The Bellows Falls High School boys baseball team took on Mill River yesterday. Unfortunately, Bellows Falls fell to their opponent and the final score was 7-0. Bellows Falls will travel to Fairhaven Thursday to play their next game. In this game, the Bellows Falls softball team fought with Woodstock in an exciting game. The game ended early due to thunderstorms, but Bellows Falls was in the lead when the game was called. The final score was 6-5. Woodstock almost made a comeback when they made 3 runs, improving from a 6-2 score in the 3rd inning. Then the game was abruptly cut short. Now let's take a look at Fisher Cats news. The New Hampshire Fisher Cats game against Binghamton yesterday was suspended due to poor weather conditions interrupting the game. However, play is set to continue tonight. The game against Binghamton scheduled for tonight is also still on, following the first game.